Alrighty, folks, back at it with another Haunt Talks for 2019. I'm here with a very special guest, Jennifer Vasquez. I think we're related, dog. Oh my God.
Probably to my husband because that's my married name.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We might be related, homie. There we go.
Then, yeah, we probably might be in-laws.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. How you doing today, Jennifer?
Good, really good. I feel like this is a good way to start off the new year.
Exactly.
Being on a podcast talking about spooks and scares. So
exactly. Let's talk about last year though. How was your 2018's Halloween season?
I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
October, I'm an October baby.
Awesome.
So I always look forward to when that time of the year rolls around, planning stuff for my birthday. So everyone knows that when my birthday comes around, okay, what haunts are we going to?
Exactly.
So Queen Mary, Universal Studios, are usually like the two like consistent ones that are like the ones that I like to go to like year after year.
Nice. Especially the Queen Mary, because you guys are also Long Beach locals as well,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Awesome. What did you guys think about it this year, especially with Johnny Cooks being involved?
Oh, so this year, unfortunately, Queen Mary, we didn't go to Dark Harbor.
Oh, really?
So we just did Universal. We did the Warner Brothers Studios for the first time, Horror Made Here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought there was one other one that we did, but we did those two.
Okay, nice. Definitely. How'd you like Warner Brothers? I know we talked about it earlier, but let's talk about it again for the folks. I always get like mixed signals about that. Like I was like people saying it's good, people saying it's bad.
Yeah.
I also know you wrote a blog. Let's also mention that she's a blog writer, does Instagram as well, talking about all spooky stuff. Sorry, but I know you mentioned it in your blog. How'd you think about it?
I did. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I think what I was expecting was a bit more scares, kind of, more people jumping out, maybe a little bit more fog action, smoke action going on. It's a small lot, so it's smaller than like Universal Studios, where you have like a bigger park, bigger space. And even Queen Mary, I feel like encompasses a bigger area. So I feel like it was a little bit smaller. So I feel like minus the fact that I wish there was more. Kind of like that scare and jump action. The mazes though were really cool. There's not a lot of mazes, so you can kind of get through things pretty fast. And you don't necessarily have to do the VIP if you get there early, because the lines you can get through pretty quickly. So totally up to people's discretion if they want to do VIP or just stick to general. But the mazes were intimate, so I like that they were more interactive. So you get more interactive, more intimate feel compared to like larger haunts that not Scary Farm or Universal, where they kind of have to like go big, so they're catering to a bigger audience and more people, so they can't maybe go as intimate with their mazes. But that was definitely a plus of Horror Made Here. I would definitely I want to go again this year, so it wasn't like where I like hated it and I'm not going to go again.
I feel you.
So
definitely. How they did It this year, right? The new 2017 It.
Yes.
Oh my God, how did you like that? Was it like did it like match up with the movie?
It was cool. And they even had a little boy, Georgie, walking around the park throughout the night with his little balloons.
Oh, really?
I got a few pictures with him. But it was really cool.
Nice.
They kind of did like did the house again too, and it was cool.
See, that's always a good thing right now that they came out with that 2018 because. Everyone's always saying remakes are worse than the original and stuff like that. No one likes the remakes. But with this one, I've had some people change their minds about it. How do you feel about it? Do you still prefer Tim Curry as Pennywise, or do you like, what's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
The new guy?
Yeah,
the new Pennywise, basically.
I enjoyed the remake. I really liked it. I thought they did a really good job. But I know like with some classics and horror classics, you're just like you don't touch it, leave as is. But I really enjoyed it.
That's good.
And I'm looking forward because they're supposed to do like a follow up, right? Like where they divided the movie, so then the second part they're gonna be adults.
Yeah, just like how like the original one was. They did like when they were kids, when they were adults, and everything like that.
So
that's gonna be interesting right there. So. Let's talk about your blog real quick. You cover a lot of the spooky stuff that's going around SoCal and everything like that. What has been like the best thing so far that you've covered besides like all the haunts?
I think one of the best. Well, actually, when I went to, I don't know if you've heard of Fabrications, Misty Munster. So she was actually I can't remember what show she was on. I think on like Sci-Fi Channel, but she her line is Custom Arts, and her like fashion line is really just like grotesque, like really dark fashion. And so I had just found out about her last year, and she had did a event where she was like debuting her new line, Let the Devil In.
Okay.
So when I went to that was actually a really cool event and experience that I went to. She did a whole she had Coven of Ashes perform, and they did a whole like kind of a show where they had like hooks in their skin and rising from the coffin. Yeah, it was like, but it was all part of like the aesthetic of her line, Let the Devil In. Like she really like, it wasn't just like a, okay, I'm debuting, you know, this like fashion line, let's have people walk down a runway. It was like a total theater experience in like this like abandoned, like kind of industrial, like abandoned space in downtown LA.
Okay,
so
nice.
the location wasn't disclosed until the day of, so you bought your tickets and you were sent an email the day of where the location of the event was going to be held. It was late at night, like it was just like kind of like that dark and creepy feel, but her show was awesome. Her pieces are awesome.
I bet.
I definitely want to invest in some. If she does some like just crazy headpieces, really pretty chest pieces.
Okay.
So that was probably like one of the highlights, like of the things I covered on my blog last year. And she's coming out with another line this year, which I'm hoping she does like another event like that. Because I definitely plan to go and cover it. So
that's always been like scary to me, like when like events, like especially like some like immersive theaters and haunts, they don't reveal that the date, the address until the day of. Because it's all like, I like to always send like a text to like my girlfriend or someone that I'm talking to that day. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be here at this night, in case it's like a setup or something like that. You know, it's like in case like you don't see me tomorrow. This is where I was last at. You know, but then they do that shit and it's just all like, oh fuck.
And I haven't done an escape room or anything like that like yet. You know, I've been interested, but I haven't done anything. But yeah, I heard that things can get kind of crazy, or some really take it like they. Kind of like try to make it really personal and yeah.
Have you ever done anything that where you had to sign a waiver? Like I know
not yet. No. I know like I heard like I don't know if Blackout's still around, but that was one of the first ones I heard where you sign a waiver. But I haven't. It's like I want to, but I'm like I don't know if I mentally I would be able to handle that.
Yeah, Blackout is still around. They've been mostly working in the East Coast, and then like as far as over here, it's like San Francisco.
Okay.
But they are amazing. The one thing that's like still around here locally is called Heretic.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's just like Blackout, maybe a little bit more different, more of a story to it. Instead of Blackout's just mostly just go into a room, some shit happens to you. Yeah. Heretic, they try to tell a story and everything like that.
Okay.
Which I don't know how you can tell a story after being waterboarded and forced. It's like, some like,
how do you even keep track of what's
exactly?
What's the plot of this? Where am I? Just get me out.
Oh man. So as far as we talk about 2018, let's talk about 2019 now. What's there to come? Like what's like one thing that's like on your list that you'd want to do that you don't know yet?
Well, I actually just put a blog live of kind of like different things that I kind of already have penciled in my calendar. I think one of the things right now that I'm looking forward to that's coming up next month is the Occult Art Show at the Mystic Museum.
Oh my god!
I don't know if you've been there in Burbank, but it's a really cool like oddity shop.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But it's really neat. But they do they host about 3 to 4 art shows every year, and they're always themed. So this one that is coming up in February is going to be their first one of the year, and it's occult in history and pop culture. Okay. So I'm really looking forward to going to that. Yeah.
Awesome. That does sound amazing. The occult always like is pretty interesting, just because like you never know what's going on, and then like
it's always fascinated me. So it's one of those topics that I've like definitely like I've always had an interest in. So when events and things like that come around that kind of like center around that or incorporate it in some way, I'm all over it.
There we go. Do you believe in like occult stuff? Like do you think there's like really secret societies and stuff? I
have a very open mind, and I do consider myself superstitious.
Okay.
So I believe in the possibility of anything. I mean I don't.
Are you conspiracy theorist or anything like that, or no?
I wouldn't call myself a conspiracy theorist, but I definitely am interested in like the conspiracy theories that are out there.
Yeah, I feel
you. Reading up about certain ones, I think they're interesting. So yeah, I mean I'm totally think that anything's possible.
Definitely. Yeah. Which one like are you like for sure that like, hey, this is for real, or that you've like done research on, or?
I really haven't done any like in-depth
which one seems
any,
more
but one that
real?
I think like I don't know. I really like the show Ancient Aliens.
Oh hell yeah!
So I think like any conspiracy theory that kind of has to do with like aliens, like came to Earth and interacted with it. I do kind of like I feel like that could be That could definitely be true. Yeah.
Aliens, no doubt. There's
Yeah.
definitely them out there. Bigfoot. Bigfoot is one that I truly believe in.
Yeah.
I'm already making plans with a friend of mine I've had on the show before.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go Bigfoot hunting. I don't know where.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
where do you even start with that? Because I feel
I
like
don't
people
know.
are always like, "Well, he was sighted here, he was sighted there."
I don't even know. It just seems like fun. Hopefully, we do see something. You know.
Yeah.
Would you ever go out alien hunting? You know, with the not the styrofoam, the tinfoil hats and everything like that. You know.
I don't know. I never considered it, but I mean, if there was an opportunity to, maybe. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe.
Have you ever been to like Area 51 or stuff like that? Or?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
And I know I know I've passed through because there's a site that we passed through, like going to Las Vegas, I think, right too. But yeah, besides like passing, through areas like that, I haven't been. No, have you?
No, not yet. No, that's something I won't do. Any government property, no, I won't get on. Like secret government property.
Yeah,
because there's like a
risk
fence.
on it. Yeah,
there's like a fence that says like, oh, you can't pass this line. What if I like trip and I pass the line? I get like sniped out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You're like, no, it's not worth it. I'll just read about it. Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of Vegas, have you heard of the Zach Bagans Museum?
I don't think so.
You watch Ghost Adventures, right? Yeah.
Ghost Adventures? No.
Oh, okay. There's a guy named Zach Bagans. They hunt ghosts and all that stuff. He has a museum just filled with a bunch of like cursed and possessed items and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Exactly. Would that be something that you'd be down to go into? That's something you have to sign a waiver to get into.
Oh, you have to sign a waiver.
Yeah, for like your spiritual well-being type of thing.
Oh, I would totally be.
You'd be down? Are you like a spiritual person? Do you believe in like demons and stuff?
I definitely do. I mean, I have like people in my family, and then even like some in-laws too that have had those type of like ghost or spiritual encounters. I definitely feel like if I definitely believe that there are certain people that are open to, the other side when they're receptive to it. So, yeah, I would love to do like a paranormal investigation. There's one that the Queen Mary does.
That's right.
Where, but with this one, they always had ghost tours, but there's a paranormal investigation you can do late at night where they actually, like, you take along the tools and things to investigate certain parts of the ship. So, that's actually something else that I'm hoping to do sometime this year to like put on the blog.
That's gonna be very exciting.
Yeah, like things like that. Oh, I would love to.
That's cool. Have you guys ever tried? Like, do you like at your own house? Do you think that there's ghosts in there and stuff like that, or no?
I mean, like, I know my mom, in the house I grew up in. I know she had seen, kind of spirits. There was a little girl. She would say that she would see. My mom's one of those like kind of intuitive people where she's seen stuff even like back when she was younger. So and sometimes she says like she'll sense things. So I feel like that like definitely the house I grew up in. There might be something, but I've never like I haven't had an experience. No, and sometimes I'm like I want to see something, I want to, and then other times it's like I don't know. What will be my reaction? So
definitely. So let's talk more about your blog. I know you've gotten the chance to go to the what was that thing in Hollywood? Oddities. Oh,
the Oddities flea market.
That one.
Oh yes.
How was that for you?
Oh, that was amazing. They started in New York, so I think Ryan Matthew Cohn, the man behind it, he actually started it a couple years ago, from what I remember reading. But it was just happening in the Brooklyn area, and then they brought it to LA for the first time of September of last year. And when I had found out about it early in 2018, I was like, oh my God, I told my husband, I'm like, we're going, I'm buying our tickets. So I was so glad, like after we had went, I had kept my fingers crossed that they were going to bring it back. Because, they had said, like, depending on the turnout, they might try to bring it back around to LA. They're wanting to expand. So I'm so looking forward to the one this year.
That's really good. Yeah, no, my lady went there and she said it was fun, a lot of cool stuff. She got to meet some of her favorite like taxidermy artists and stuff like that.
Oh, they have a ton of vendors. Yeah, a ton of vendors.
Really, really packed house from what I saw in the pictures. Especially on your blogs too. The pictures you took, just crowded and crazy and everything.
It was very hard to maneuver through all of that, and if you're one like who's claustrophobic, probably not a good place for you to be. It was very packed, and so it was. So that was the one downside, is that it was hard. You couldn't kind of like dedicate time to like really checking out certain vendors, because like the center alleyways were just like packed. So this year though, and doing VIP this year. I learned my lesson, and they're spreading it across 2 days. So
Okay.
I think they're wanting to avoid that because we were waiting in line too for like 2 hours before even getting in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I learned my lesson.
I bet.
So I'm like, VIP, just cut the line, get in early.
That would definitely help out. I know Midsummer Scream. You ever been to that?
I went, last
It
year.
was such an amazing event.
Yes.
Best thing to ever happen in Long Beach, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
And it's amazing. I heard that they're thinking about expanding the third day.
Really?
Yeah, something they should do because last year was like their third year doing it.
Yeah, no, it's relatively new. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just completely crowded. It was madness all around.
It was my first time going, and I did notice. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It's really busy.
The first year I went, like the very first year, like it started happening. It was pretty crowded, but not as bad as how it was. And then second year, I had some friends go. They told me that it was like a little bit. Now with this year, it was just.
So it's like the more known, like it's
exactly.
It's
everyone's
hype.
like more like everyone's finding out about it and everything like that, which is good.
Yeah.
It deserves a lot of good feedback and everything like that. What was I saying? Sorry.
It needs crowd control.
It's crowded.
It needs crowd control.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's an amazing thing. So what'd you think about it this year? Did you have a chance to go through all like little preview hunts?
I did not all of them because it was just really like crowded.
Okay.
The lines were long. So I was able to check out like everything though because I wanted to make sure like I was able to like kind of just get a good feel of like the vendors that were there. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit because it was my first year going last year. It was a little bit overwhelming because I was like, okay, what do I check out first? And it was like the schedule of like panels and lectures. So I think it was just trying to kind of organize my thoughts and be like, okay, what do I want to do first? Mm-hmm. And I think that's something too that this year going into because how they release their schedules beforehand. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I'm like gonna go with a plan. I'm like, okay, I want to see these discussion panels. I want to check out like these haunts or vendors. So, but I thought it was really cool. There's That's just awesome. So much though. There's so much. Yeah.
They had a lot more celebrities, surprisingly this year too, from what I saw. Elvira always shows up, and then they had some people from the Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah, and Thora Birch from Hocus Pocus too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I heard rumor that I don't even know if it's true. I checked in the pamphlet, I couldn't tell, but someone said that her name, the girl who played, or the lady who played the little girl in the very first Exorcist.
Oh, wait, the Reagan, right? The one that played Reagan.
Yeah.
She was at Scare LA.
Oh, was
the one that played? Yeah, she might have been at Midsummer Scream.
I don't know.
Because I only went Sunday, so I might have missed the Saturday. But she was at Scare LA.
Really?
The one that played. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I can't remember her name. Nice. I mentioned that in my the blog that I wrote about Scare LA too, because she was one of the people that was scheduled to talk. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of interesting to see, like, it seems like she's kind of, like, does not want to talk about The Exorcist or she's just kind of over it. So she was not taking questions from the audience. Really? Which was a little disappointing because it's like, okay, you're at Scare LA, you're at a horror convention. The Exorcist is, like, one of the biggest horror, like, classics of all time. You kind of want to, like, she just kind of kept referring to people to this documentary she's like, all the questions have been answered in that, so just watch that.
I bet you don't want to repeat yourself too many times after so many years.
I guess she's just kind of over it, but it was a little like, talk a little bit about The Exorcist.
I know, right?
Yeah, she just kind of like, nope.
I feel you. Yeah. No, like that, I feel like that type of role, for like, especially for a young actress, would definitely probably do some like mental, not damage, but like, it's probably like a little freaked out.
So that's heavy. That's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I even think of, I know there's like one of those like urban legends about the girl that did Poltergeist, right? That she died in the third film. So have you seen all the Poltergeist movies?
Never seen Poltergeist.
You haven't? The girl with the TV?
I've seen like little clips and like the whole "they're here" type of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. My parents are usually very careful with what my siblings and I watch as kids. But so I don't know how at like 5 or 6 I was able to watch Poltergeist.
Right.
But the girl that was in all 3 movies, from what I heard, there's like one of those legends that goes around that she died. Well, the little actress really did die of some sort of stomach sickness or stomach illness. but they associated it with the film being cursed. So I guess that there's a scene at the end where they had to, because she had already passed, there's another little girl, like where you see the back of her head, you know, kind of having to fill the role. Supposedly they connect that with like the film being like cursed in some way. But I guess just, I don't know, I just thought of like, yeah, kids kind of being put in those roles where you're kind of dealing with evil, dark topics.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's terrifying, especially with like I forgot this one movie I saw that was like very. I was just thinking about the kids, like how can they do this? I forgot. It escapes my mind, but you know, any movie like that has to do with little children acting and having to deal with like, you know, like crazy stuff. Yeah. Babadook, that was the movie.
Oh, I saw that was good.
Yeah, that having to tell a kid to play another kid with like some mental disorder.
Yes.
Like, he probably doesn't know what like
that was
mental
dark.
disorder. Yeah, it's like
that was
you just like
they loved it.
You just taught him about something that's like probably gonna freak him out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, then it's like, and then as the parent, like, okay, I'm just gonna let my child, you know, it's like, hey, are you ready to deal with the repercussions after? It might not come out the same.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
It was. It was surprisingly, like, normally I don't like things with like little like bedtime stories and stuff like that. I feel like it's
they could get cheesy.
Yeah, it's like kind of cheesy. It's like, all right, you know, you turn off the light, turn it back on, it's on and stuff. But no, it was actually pretty good. It was really like really creepy and like really emotional too.
Yeah,
like, oh my God.
I think they did it well.
Hell
they definitely did. Yeah.
So let's talk about Scare LA since you brought that up. What did you think about it? That's something else I got like mixed opinions about.
Yeah, it was my first time going to that too. I only went one day, so I didn't get the whole weekend experience. I enjoyed it. I feel like I kind of enjoyed Midsummer Scream a bit more.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I felt like it just kind of was a little empty and just there. I don't know. Like I feel like comparing the two, I guess I just felt like maybe Midsummer Scream had a little bit more going on, more action, you know, more discussion panels, things like that. So yeah, like, and Midsummer Scream 2 felt like it was spread across a bigger area too, like at the convention center. And I don't know, Scare LA was just kind of all in like one big like space. So, I liked it, but
you feel like they could have offered them a little bit more?
Yeah. I don't know. There was something, I can't put my finger on it, that just kind of felt like it was missing. I'm looking forward to going again this year. I think I'm going to go on a Saturday. Last year went on a Sunday, so I don't know, maybe Sundays are just like more kind of just...
Probably. It's like the last day, so people are just like, hey, you know, who cares?
Yeah. As soon as 6 o'clock rolled around, they turned on the lights, so all that Halloween magic kind of, you're like, oh,
really?
They turned on the lights right away. They were like, everyone go.
Get out of here.
We were watching the last discussion panel, and they were just kind of like, all right, let's
goodness.
wrap up this interview. So that was kind of like, I don't know, I feel like when stuff like that happens, it's kind of like last call at a bar. You're like, oh, don't turn off the lights.
Right?
Yeah, you're like, oh, God, turn it back on.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, it's weird because it's like Scare LA's been around way longer than Midsummer.
Yeah, but
Midsummer's only been there for 3 years. Scare LA's been around since like, I don't even know how long, but like way before like, you know, like I was even old enough to even go out and do all this stuff, you know what I mean?
I was around for a while. I didn't know it was
like, I think the first time I heard about Scare LA, I was like 10.
Oh, okay,
so that was like a long time ago, you know, so it's like they've been around for so long, and you think like, all right, each year they start stepping it up. I don't know if this is like an off year for them or something like that, but it's like, it's almost kind of like, all right, you got like a championship team and a rookie coming in.
Yeah.
You know, most odds the championship team's still going to be the highlight of the night.
Their season.
They've been around, and they just have more experience. And then you got like these other guys right here that haven't been around too long. They're kind of like outdoing them, which is good, you know what I mean? Because they deserve it. They've obviously, like, shows proved it like time and time like, the past 3 years that they're going to be constantly getting better and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just weird, but...
Yeah, I had nothing to compare it to either, so I wasn't sure exactly. It was hard for me, too, because I hadn't been before, so I didn't know, like, what it had been like in years past. So, yeah, so that's why this year, you know, I'm like, okay, maybe going on a different day or just, you know.
I was going to try it out. What else? Have you ever heard of the spook shows that happen over here at the Halloween Club?
I think I might have, like, come across them on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know, refresh my memory. You know?
Think of like Midsummer, but just like smaller.
Okay.
But it doesn't get too crowded, honestly. Like, you know.
Okay.
One good thing about it, it's free, so I'm surprised it doesn't get too crowded. But
okay. And they have just different events, like.
Yeah, they just it's just one day. I think this year for Spook Show 6, they had like one panel just to try it out, like on the inside, like inside where like they have their
okay,
warehouse,
that's
because it's like an actual store and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I believe John, what's his name? I can't pronounce his last name to save my life, but the guy who did Haunters, The Art of the Scare.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just saw that documentary too a few months
Best
back.
thing ever.
It was on Netflix.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, it was, yeah, that was, it
It's
really opened my
amazing.
eyes to, you know, just, yeah, what these people, you know, their dedication to it. And
Exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, he was there. Him,
cool.
and I think Shar, the lady who's like the who's in the documentary. She's done like all like these scare acting jobs,
Yeah.
from Not Scary Farm to Blackout.
She was at Scare LA. I was
Yeah.
lucky enough to see that panel too. And so, yeah, so was he. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So they did
Yeah.
a panel just like that, a little bit smaller crowd.
Oh, that's cool that they
with
did that.
Yeah, and like I think they also added in like some ghost stories and stuff
Okay.
like that. You know,
Okay.
so it was pretty cool. What was I saying? Yeah, no. So Spook Show is something else. You know, I'd highly recommend you checking out.
Okay.
It's a really good
cool.
event. It's free too. You know what I mean? So who could beat that? You know?
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm always looking just for other things to like add. So even like right now, I'm just trying to check out, okay, like what else is going on.
Definitely.
So okay, yeah, definitely have to keep that in mind.
Speaking of other new things too, have you heard about this new pizza place that's up in Long Beach?
Yes.
I think you already went. haven't
Oh
you?
my yeah, I went
How
a
was
couple
it?
weeks ago. Loved it.
Oh
yeah,
my god,
yeah.
food's like really good.
Yeah, the pizza was good. I had wine, but they have beer too. But
Nice.
the drinks were good. It's a really cool ambiance. They have like a little arcade in the front. Bunch of like horror art, you know,
Nice,
around the
nice.
walls. It's just a really cool, very unique
Mhm.
spot. And I loved it. And it's nice that it's local and it's here in Long Beach because I love Tim Burton. I love the Beetle House in LA.
Oh yeah.
But with the Beetle House, like you know, being out in LA, it's like hard to get out there.
Gotta
LA, you have to pay for
drive.
parking, and
Exactly.
it's, you know, so it's nice that there's just something close that's a horror inspired, you know,
Exactly.
little spot. But yeah, I definitely recommend it to anyone who's passing through or local.
Hell
It's
yeah.
so good. Yeah.
It looks like a really good spot. It surprised me. Like, a lot of this horror stuff is kind of getting more like accepting, I guess you would say. A little bit more out there. It's
Yeah.
being more. It's being more like more common, I guess you
Right.
would say. You know.
Yeah. There's more people, I think, trying to offer year round, like either horror themed or like, yeah, dark themed
Exactly.
events or just, yeah.
Especially during the holidays too, because it's like most people, we can't really enjoy our Halloween because we're already hearing Christmas
Right.
music.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
hearing
so
Christmas
it's like-
before Halloween. Even.
Exactly.
Christmas in July, like it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all that stuff, and
Yeah.
it's nice to see that people are still trying, like, even during the Christmas season. It's like, all right, you're gonna interfere with our holiday, we're gonna interfere
Yeah.
with yours. Twisted Mind Productions did a great job with their Christmas theme haunt.
I saw that.
Yeah,
You went
it was.
Yeah,
It
that
was,
looked
it was
fun.
a really good thing. I know 17th Door. Have you heard of them?
I have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did a Christmas thing last year, which was amazing. Really fun to do.
Okay, was that their first time doing a Christmas?
Yeah, they were like, for as far as I know, one of the first ones to start doing the Christmas one. That was
Oh,
last year.
okay.
And then this year, Twisted Minds kind of took over on
That's
that.
cool.
And then next year, I know a few other people in the haunt industry are going to be starting up to do the same thing.
Okay.
And they're also, I think, a few other people are working on like some year-round haunts too. So it's like,
Okay,
as
so
like the
that'll be
horror community starts getting more accepted into like the normal world,
Yeah.
like not during Halloween.
Yeah.
I would hope to see more like Halloween, like not Halloween, haunted houses during like just the
Yeah.
off season, just because it's like we don't have to wait a whole nother year just to go to Not Scary Farm and
Right.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know?
I think that there will be more of a market for it as time goes on. You know, at least
Exactly.
yeah, I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed too, because that'd be great to like, yeah, it's March and you know, I'm gonna go to this Halloween
Exactly.
thing,
Yeah. Especially with John's the documentary, the Haunters one. It's
Yeah.
like on Netflix, a big old market right there, big old demographic
Right.
that he can cover.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
one of the best things on Netflix. I'm not even like trying to kiss his ass right now. But it's like I watch a lot of Netflix, but like I watched that thing like so many times.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
You don't see very many documentaries like that though too. So
No.
it was kind of neat that there was something dedicated to that and just kind of giving insight into, you know,
How much
haunters in
work
their
is going
world.
in.
And yeah,
Exactly.
and that one crazy guy that
Russ McKinney.
oh my god,
Yeah, no,
I had never heard of him before, but I was
He's something else.
interesting like how some people take it a little too far. And
Yeah, he actually came out in another TV series on Netflix series called Deadliest Taurus or something, like Deadly Taurus or something like that.
oh,
The guy's talking about like going to like all these like weird things. Like he's gone to like the nuclear areas in like Japan.
Oh,
Like
this is on
where
Netflix too.
yeah,
Right, I've been meaning to
you know
watch
what I'm
this
talking
series.
about?
It's a
Deadliest
series.
Taurus, I think.
Yeah,
It's called. Yeah,
yeah.
something deadly and then
And
Taurus.
tourists,
It's
yeah.
one of those two words.
Yeah.
But he covers Russ McKinney, who's now moved up to, I believe, Arkansas.
Where was he before? He was
He
in
was
the
he
South
was
or
in
something.
San Diego,
Oh,
and
oh.
then he had to stop for a while, and then he went up to Art. Now he's up in Arkansas right now, or at least from what I've heard. And
Wow,
then
that's a random move.
yeah, and then now he's coming back to. He's gonna be going down, from what I've heard. This is just rumors, to Mexico.
Taking his haunt.
Taking his haunt
So
there.
it seems like he's trying to find places that they might be more lenient with him
Exactly.
getting away with.
Because in
gosh.
Arkansas, he has to have a safe word. Because that was like if you saw in the documentary,
Yeah,
he's
did
the
it.
only one with no
Yeah.
safe word.
Yeah.
So the people in San Diego were just like, nah, hell no, get out of there.
Yeah.
And he went up to Arkansas. Then like he saw like the laws and everything like that. He's still doing it up there, or at least from what I've heard. And then now he's gonna supposedly move it down to Mexico, where you can pretty much do whatever you want in Mexico.
Yeah, that's kind. I mean, that's kind of scary because just from what I saw in the documentary, he has way too much free reign from what it seems. I mean,
Exactly.
that just and the fact that he doesn't screen or do a background check on the people he's like hiring to like
Oh,
do
yeah,
scare,
no, he
it's
doesn't
like
do that.
you don't know what kind of criminal backgrounds or what.
Exactly.
So it just watching that I'm just like that was I think knowing that that's not something I like haunts and I like scares, but I don't think I would be willing to sign myself up to put myself in like that kind of situation.
He tried to get me in there a few times.
Really?
I met him my very first time meeting him. I was starstruck. So I was like, oh my God, Mr. McKinney,
Yeah.
can I take a picture
Yeah.
with you? And it was like the very first year of Midsummer Scream.
Okay.
And like I took a picture with him. He's like, hey man, you should like definitely try to come into the haunt. I was like, oh, I'll think about it. Still being all starstruck,
Yeah.
But then like as we were walking away, I kind of like still was thinking about it. And I was like, oh, fuck that, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then I tried doing an interview. Oh, not doing it. I tried asking him for some advice because I was trying to do a haunt at my own house over here.
Okay.
And then after he like gave me some pointers and stuff like that, he's like, man, we should really get you in the hunt. And I was like, nah, dude, I don't want to do that. He's like, I'm telling you, man. Like he's like really trying to push it. And I was like, no, there's no way you can get me in there. I feel like he can have like a really good business, even still have like the highest rep for the most extreme haunt ever. If he just even if he still had a safe word, because that's the thing that's killing him. That's the thing that's like ruining his business, his credibility, and all that stuff. A lot of the people in the extreme haunt like community, like in the extreme haunt business, like Blackout, all the other people, they kind of like don't really associate with him.
That's the vibe, and that kind of came up at the panel too at Scarily, because when they were talking to them, and they had the guy too, the creator of Black Haunt, and when he came up, they kind of were all like, they were not fans or supporters of what he's doing, but because it kind of borders on like being inhumane, you're just like stripping someone of just like.
It's supposed to be an experience. An experience can end whenever you don't want to deal with it anymore. It's supposed to be like a I guess what's the word? It's just supposed to be a game.
Right.
You're allowed to stop the game whenever you want.
Exactly.
But he kind of takes that away, and he kind of goes too far. Have you ever seen his YouTube channel?
I didn't even know he had a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he does, and it's basically 45 to an hour, maybe 2 hours of footage of him torturing whoever's going through the haunt at that time.
Oh my gosh.
Like he used to post up pretty frequently. Now it's kind of slowing down.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it's that. I used to watch it when I was first getting into it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was interesting at first. But then actually doing some more research and kind of seeing before then, it wasn't as bad. Like, he didn't have a safe word, but you kind of see him be like, all right, now let's stop it. That's it.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, it feels like he feels that he needs to boost up his brutality, like his credibility.
Push the boundaries.
Push the boundaries a little bit more, so that way he's making other people push their own boundaries.
Yeah.
You can't make someone push boundaries that they don't have. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
just because you have all this energy and ready to go and keep on doing it, you can't just drag someone along with you.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
that's what made me stop watching those videos, because it's
intense.
after a while it gets intense. It's almost like, why am I even watching? It's like a gross beheading video.
You kind of become uncomfortable. You're just like, wait a minute. When did it when did the lines blur to being entertainment to just kind of not right.
Exactly. But yeah, how do we get on? Oh yeah, Haunter's documentary. Yeah, Russ, he's a good guy. God bless him. But he's kind of have a boundary line right there,
I agree.
Definitely. But Blackout, though, I keep hearing every single year someone always sends me like some like information about like Blackout's coming back to LA. They did it. They sent me like an email last year, not Blackout, but my friend.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me like an email saying like, "Yo, Blackout, I heard Blackout's gonna be coming out to LA 2018."
Oh.
They didn't. They didn't. So I'm hoping this year, 2019, they would. What's like your percentage of like signing up?
Doing it. I mean, when I had first heard about it a few years ago, I had really like wanted to do it. I'm like, yeah, I think I could do it. The curious part of me would really want to like sign that waiver and try it, but I don't know. I think it's just like wondering if how intense things, because I'm sure now that they've been doing this a few years, I'm sure they kind of like upped the ante of how intense they're making the experience. So. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a 100% no, but it's like I don't know. Have you done it before?
I've done the VR experience they had at Midsummer Scream.
Oh, okay. How was that? Was it?
It was pretty cool. It was basically just like a preview of what's to come for 2017.
Okay.
And I was supposed to do it 2017, but I chickened out. I was just all like, I can't do it. I was gonna do this. They had it's called Blackout 21, where it was like a virtual type of thing, and it kind of did get like into real life.
Yeah.
I read some reviews about some people who did it, and basically they'll send you emails, texts. It's just it's like a stalker.
I've heard about this. Yeah. Random people will show up, and you'll have to get in the car.
Oh no, that's
is that the same thing?
That's what's it called? The tension experience or the lust experience.
Tension. Yes, okay, that's
that guy Russ. He was actually in a documentary for Blackout. He's like one of the people who kind of like he did Blackout when they were like doing like all this experimental stuff and everything like that. And I guess he doesn't work with it, but he like kind of like promotes it pretty well. I've seen him like promoted like a good amount of times and everything like that. He's like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He seems like the type of person that would not go through it. You know what I mean?
Really?
Go through anything like this. But he said like, you just get a text message like there's a guy in a white shirt. You go in his car and it's all like, I guess so. And then they just blindfold you and all that stuff. That's too crazy. No,
kind of like filtering into your real life. Like
exactly. You really do become a part of your life type of thing. It's like your daily routine's like, sorry guys, I can't go out. I'm supposed to go get tied up over here. You know what I mean?
I have to go at this abandoned warehouse somewhere
exactly.
in the middle of nowhere.
But with the 21 thing, it's basically it's like a virtual stalker. They call you in the middle of the night. They send you text messages, emails, just like weird stuff.
Wow.
And you're supposed to interact with it. And apparently towards the end of your session, it's like a week-long thing. They'll actually send someone to your house, not to do anything, just to freak you out.
Oh.
Yeah, the guy wrote in his review, they're not doing it anymore, so it's not technically a spoiler alert, spoiler or anything, but the guy wrote on his thing saying that there was a black van in front of his house with the hazard lights on for like 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It was just there, and like it wasn't like anyone that was across the street. It wasn't anyone in his neighbors. It was right in front of his house. Hazard lights on. He saw two people just sitting in there, and
That's
sorry,
nuts. Oh no.
And then
That's
it's
crazy. It's from what I've like read too, like about these more immersive experiences. It's for it's kind of like, okay, well, they want to up the scare, because even when I go to these haunts too, I'm like, oh man, I want to be really scared, like not just like, oh, that was fun, like, ooh, but so it's like because I can even say personally that when I do these when I go to like Universal Horror Nights, and even though those are nowhere near as intense as what is out there, I want to be scared, I want that, but then there's also when it gets really intense, it's like, well, how bad, like how scared do you want to be? And I know I've read just about like how these things are, some people they see these horror films and they want to live the horror film, they want to live it without the danger being real, but just close enough where they feel like they're in their own horror film and having their own experience. And it is interesting as far as like, okay, well, but how far
exactly
is too far when it starts kind of messing with that like reality,
the psychological part and everything like that.
It seems like they're kind of really trying to like kind of make it to where people can you can be in your own horror movie, because we're bringing it to you, and we can make it just part of your daily life. You get up and have weird stuff happening, or weird people following you.
Exactly.
So it's like interesting, and it sounds like a really like interesting and like cool experience, but then mentally
I feel
it's like what's gonna happen to you at the end.
You know, that's pretty crazy. You know, I think Heretic, the same people I was talking about earlier, they have something where you spend the night at a cabin in the woods, and I think it's like just a weekend long experience. So it's like just 2 days, 1 night type of thing, and the whole time something's happening to you. Well, I think they give you some time to actually sleep. I would hope so, at least, you know. But yeah, and yeah, it's like really crazy. One thing that they're kind of known for too is they actually started using like a lot of like marijuana in their marijuana injections, to be exact. I had a guy tell me that like it was, I'd never had anyone pitch a hunt like this to me before. He's like, "Hey, do you smoke weed?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you like haunted houses?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What about both at the same time?" I was like, "No, that's too." I freak out when I'm just like at home alone.
Yeah.
Hi, I can't imagine being at a hunt like that.
And then having like everything come at you, and
especially an extreme hunt too. It's all like that's gonna be too real.
They're just thinking of everything.
Yeah, exactly. Sooner or later, it's gonna be like, you know, maybe they might do exactly what Blackout used to do. They'll come into your own house. Literally, they'll just ask, like, "Can we get a copy of your key?" And just like go up in there and start messing with you.
Oh wow, yeah, that's scary.
I thought about signing when Blackout was doing that. I thought about signing up for that, but I was like, I wouldn't want to put them through that. I live in the hood, so if they start hearing something, my neighbors might come through.
I feel like there might be other
exactly. It's like
things affecting them.
They're gonna come in the black van. They're gonna leave it, and next thing you know, things on cinder blocks. Tires gonna be gone. You know, I mean, all that typical things. What was I gonna say? So yeah. Oh fuck! I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's early.
I know, right? It's really early. So you go to all these things and everything like that, and you take your husband along with you. How does he feel? Is he a big fan as well too?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
There we go.
I feel like I've gotten him into like all the dark but we've known each other since we were teens, and since I was like 14,
Aww.
I've kind of like I've associated with the goth community, so I think through that I've gotten him into. Oh yeah.
Hold up, folks. How you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
It's okay.
There we go. Jennifer, this is my girlfriend Veronica.
Very nice to
This is
meet
her
you,
husband.
Veronica.
I'm so sorry, I forgot your
Nice to
name.
meet you.
It's Sal and Jennifer. Nice to meet you, Veronica.
There we go. We'll just edit that part out. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. So.
But yeah. So me being like when I had gotten to the goth scene like 14, so he kind of is used to that dark side. So I kind of feel like I've kind of pulled him into like
There we go.
the autumn macabre, as I like to call it. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool. You guys met when you were 14 and everything like that. Been together since?
Since you were 10, actually.
Since you were 10.
But yeah.
Been together since you were 14. Married for how long, if I may ask?
We got married. This will be 3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool right there.
It took a while because we were trying to figure out like how we wanted to get married, what we wanted to do, and then we're like, we're eloping to Hawaii.
I feel you. That's awesome. You guys and you guys actually did that? You
we went to Hawaii. Yeah. Our family like knew, but we were like, you know what? If we're gonna spend this money, we want to enjoy a trip and enjoy ourselves. So we're like, we love you guys. Going to Hawaii. We did it. Yeah, cool. It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's really cool right there. What island in Hawaii?
Kauai. Our first time too, just going to Hawaii like in general, but Kauai, like definitely suggest it.
That's awesome. Beautiful. Have you heard about the volcanoes that be going around in there and everything like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's scary. I've been taking an anthropology class, and we were talking about like one of like the goddesses of like I forgot her name, but yeah, they were saying that like she like kind of controls the volcanoes and stuff like that. Yeah. And we were looking at pictures of like all the volcanoes that were erupting like kind of like around there at the time, and literally in one of the pictures you see like a figure which looks like a woman, and like kind of like some of the lava is like her hair and everything like that.
Oh wow!
And so it's all like, talking about like all these like other like spiritual beings and stuff like that. It's like that's kind of like some proof right there. That's pretty creepy
really
right there.
Cool.
It's cool though.
Yeah, we did a tour, and our tour guide they have stories behind some of like the rock formations and things. And he's like, if you look at it, each kind of like landscape or formation had a story behind it. But if you looked at it, they were figures, like,
Mm-hmm.
or they like formed some sort of like being, kind of like, yeah, similar to what like you're saying. But yeah, really, really interesting history
That's really good. That's
behind
really
the
good.
island. Yeah.
Did you eat a lot of spam out there? I heard that's like really popular.
Spam, no. So because I don't eat beef or pork,
Oh, okay,
but
nice.
we did have was it huli huli chicken. Oh my God,
Really?
our tour guide, because he was like, I gotta take you guys to this spot. It was this little shack.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I never had huli huli chicken,
Mm-hmm.
but it fell off the bone. It was so, so good.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was delicious. My husband's like made it at, back at home, and made it pretty good.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, but their food's really good out there.
I bet, I
Yeah.
bet. I wonder what their Halloween is like.
That's what,
You know what
yeah,
I
because
mean?
the island is very well, at least Kauai, it's very small. You can pretty much like drive around the island within an hour.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's very, very small, very, intimate.
Yeah.
So I don't, yeah, I was kind of curious too. I feel like maybe more Halloween action and stuff like that may go on like in Hawaii, like Oahu, the bigger
Like
maybe
the bigger,
tourist.
more, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but Kauai is pretty laid back and chill.
I wonder if there's any haunted attractions out there, like
I
like
mean,
a Knott's or something like that, like a
I
little
would
like
think there would have to be
some haunted house type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you follow or heard of Ghostwatch Paranormal.
No, I haven't. Actually.
You should follow them on Instagram. But
Definitely.
the guy that heads that, he works a lot with the people at the Mystic Museum, because they've done
Okay.
like paranormal investigations, because the Mystic Museum has a lot of paranormal activity that goes on.
Yeah.
But I believe he posted pictures of this abandoned lot that they had seen, and they were on Kauai actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm
there's,
gonna check that out.
I'm sure there's like definitely like some paranormal history.
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't looked
definitely.
into it, as far as like all of that about Hawaii, but
Mhm.
yeah, he had some pictures that he posted on Instagram. I think it was from a visit they did like a year ago,
Exactly.
but yeah, there's some
Especially
stuff
like
going on.
with the whole Pearl Harbor stuff, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh God, yeah.
it's got to be some 1940s ghosts and everything
Oh,
like
exactly. I feel like just like the Queen Mary, because it had, it
Exactly.
has all the spirits, and that like fascinates me, because my grandfather had
Mhm.
fought in World War II, and that was the ship that took him out to war and then brought it
that.
back.
Really?
Yeah, so that's another reason why like I
Oh my
have a
God.
big connection like with the Queen Mary, because of because of that reason too.
Mhm.
So I just feel like there's just like so much like history
Exactly.
surrounding it, and
That's
yeah.
really fascinating right there. To know someone that's been on the Queen Mary.
My mom actually
what I
has
mean?
pictures of my grandpa when he was still in the army.
Mhm.
Yeah, on the ship.
That's so
he
cool
was
right
just say
there.
he's like, that's the ship that took me from home and brought me back.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's so
it's
cool.
really cool.
Have you of course you've been there already. What do you think about the tours that they offer? Like the normal ghost tours, and then
Yeah.
like that theatrical one where they have like the special effects and everything.
That one I don't think I've done. I've done the ghost tour.
Oh, really? Okay.
The theatrical one, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Was that, I don't know
There's
if I've done that one.
yeah, there's two of them. Well, at least at the time they were offering this one, where it's like one of them is like the normal, we followed a lady into like around the whole ship,
Uh-huh.
and she said someone died in this room, and there's like stuff that happens. Someone died in this room, and there's
Uh-huh.
stuff that happens, and then there's like one where it's like you go into the legendary pool area, and they have like all these like weird lights, and they show like what looks like a spirit getting out of the pool and going
I
into
think
like, this
that
portal.
okay. I think that's the one that we did. That we did then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the one we did. And yeah, because it's kind of like simulated, like kind of made to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's fun just for but
Yeah.
I think. I would rather do like something like the paranormal investigation that they're doing now.
Exactly.
Sounds far more interesting than it being kind of made to.
Just made up and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because it's like there's like a genuine like there's it's really haunted. Like I believe that
Exactly.
there's definitely like there's real paranormal activity. You don't have to like make stuff happen. So yeah, I
Exactly.
think doing something like that. But I mean it's just a fun tour, especially I feel like if you're
Yeah.
visiting and haven't been to the Queen Mary and just kind of you're here for like a short amount of time and want to experience it. I think it's fun for anyone just to check out.
Exactly,
Yeah.
definitely. They just, I believe, in like last year, early 2018, they just released that they were letting people stay in like their most legendary haunted room, the B340,
Oh,
and that's like one of the rooms that like they have like a haunt, like during the Dark Harbor season,
Uh-huh.
they have a continuously haunt that goes around that's based upon that room. I guess some dude
okay.
died up in there and stuff like that, and it's
Okay.
supposed to be like really, really haunted.
Yeah.
And they finally they remodeled it. I don't know who was brave enough to do construction in that
Oh,
room,
wow.
but They remodeled it, and now they're letting people stay there for about like $4.50 a night.
Oh my gosh.
Like, is that something that you'd be down to do or something like that? Like, would you guys ever do that?
Well, we've
Yeah, he's shaking his head.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
he's a brave soul.
Yeah, like I would definitely like be up to doing that. We did stay on the Queen Mary a couple years ago.
Really?
We just we were like even though for like we at the time we were living in Orange County, it's not that far.
Yeah.
We were like, you know what, let's just have a little
Why not?
a
Yeah.
getaway, staycation, whatever. So it wasn't in one of like the the paranormal, like more of the paranormal rooms, but we stayed the night in one of their rooms, and it is just, I think you just kind of get that vibe. The ship just has, I mean, it's a old historic ship, so I think you just kind of like sense it already. But it was funny because my husband, it was in the middle of the night, and he said that he kind of like woke up, and that I had I was asleep, but all of a sudden I like gasped for air. Like I was like,
oh my God.
And he said he looked like you were like gasping or struggling, and I think he said you felt like the air move
so
or
the
something.
air conditioners are in the corner like car air conditioners. So we moved them away from the bed before we went to sleep, and then I woke up because it was so cold and all the air conditioners were facing back at us. So I went, moved them, got back into bed, and I lay down, and then she sat up and she like put her arms out and gasped for air.
Alrighty, folks. So again, we got some technical difficulties. I'm still learning. All right. But we're gonna end the session today. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being on this podcast.
Thank you for
really
having
means a lot.
me.
It's like best way to start off 2019.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I agree.
Anything you want to tell? Like you want to plug in your information?
Yes. You can find my blog site at jenvasquez.com. It's Jen with 2 N's. And then I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook